Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum semua and a very good day to all of you. So this video is to address the chapter on planning. Okay, so before we begin, jom kita tengok the chapter outline itself. Okay, apa yang kita akan cover in this video. Alright, so for this chapter, kita akan tengok the nature and purpose of planning, types of planning yang available. Number 3, the planning process itself. And number 4 is barriers to effective planning. Okay, so kalau you ingat dalam management function yang POLC tu, this is the first one lah. Okay, the planning. So in organization, basically planning ni dia provide a foundation ataupun the basis on all organizational activities lah. So bila ada planning ni, in organization kita dapat tahu what are the things to be done, what are the objective yang kita nak capai sebagai satu company, for example, okay, by having planning. So madam boleh kata dekat sini, it is very important as planning will be the foundation for the organization in terms of whatever that we want to do in the company itself. Okay, and through planning managers coordinate organizational activities so that the goals of the organization can be achieved. Okay, so by having all those plans, all those strategy, kita dapat capai lah whatever goals yang being set for the organization itself, either vision or the mission of the company or the organization itself. Okay, so next kita nak tengok definition of planning. So what is planning? Alright, so sebelum kita pergi dengan deeper, kita tengok overall lah. Okay, what is planning process? Macam kacau pula. Madam duduk kat sini. Bagi kecil sikit lah. Saya tengok madam besar-besar sangat. Alright, so planning process is the process of outlining the activities that are necessary to achieve the goal of the organisation. Okay, bila kita cakap tentang goals of organisation, dia ada banyak jenis tau. Sama ada long term goals, short term goals, kita ada vision, missions of the company itself, ataupun kita ada annual objective. Tu antara goal of the organisation itself. Okay, so bila kata outlining the activities, meaning kita buat perancangan lah, what are the activities, what are the things that needed to be done. Okay, for example, do we need to orang panggil apa, launch new product, kalau ya, bila, lebih kurang macam tu lah. And through planning, managers determine how organizational resources are to be allocated and how the activities of the organization will be assigned to individuals or the work group itself. Okay, so based on the goals being set, for example, via planning ni, okay, kita as an organization will be able to decide all those resources, human resource ke, financial resources ke, asset ke, macam mana nak allocate. Sebab dalam organisation ataupun kita ambil company lah, kadang-kadang ada banyak department, ataupun kalau company tu ada business operation throughout Malaysia, banyak branches, okay, nak fokus dekat branch yang mana, which branch yang nak dapat budget lebih, for example. Ataupun kalau you ada banyak produk lain, banyak jenis produk, like kita ambil produk apa kita ambil Samsung kan, Samsung ada mobile phone, ada electrical appliances and so on. So which product line ni nak dapat budget yang lebih, human resource allocation, nak tambah staff baru dekat which department, which product line. So dengan ada planning, kita ataupun the company itself can allocate all those resources lah. Okay, so that is the entire, orang kata apa, definition for planning process. Okay, next kita nak tengok plan ni apa. Okay, a plan is actually a blueprint for action that prescribes the activities necessary for organization to realize their goal. Okay, ni blueprint lah, dia detail out what are the activities yang the company perlu lakukan to realize the goals being set earlier. Okay, jelas? Okay, jelas. Madam, proceed. So, what are the main purpose of planning? Okay, planning basically they can give guidance and directions to the manager itself of the organization about their roles in delivering those products and services. Okay, so manager ni tahulah nak buat apa. Okay, sebab dia ada guidance, dah ada plan, dah ada things need to be achieved. So dia tahu nak fokus kerjanya dekat mana. Okay, and dia boleh buat planning untuk dia punya subordinate jugalah. What are the area to be focused on. Okay, kita proceed. So this is the planning linking mechanism. Apa kaitannya dengan goal, plans dengan control. Okay, POLC. So kita ada controlling juga kan dekat situ. So mula-mula company akan set goals dulu. Okay, by having goals, it provides a clear, engaging sense of direction and specify what is to be accomplished as a whole organisation itself. So plan dia akan linkkan antara goals dengan control lah. Okay, so plan by having goals, dengan adanya plan kita dapat move to the direction ataupun kita dapat rangka what are to be done to achieve the goal itself. Okay, and ada strategi kan, strategi. So by having this, from time to time kita dapat monitor and do controlling lah. So controlling, monitor the extent to which goals have been achieved and ensure that organisation is moving to the right direction. Okay, so kadang-kadang monitor sales, okay, monitor progress certain project, macam tu sebab dah ada objective to be achieved dan ada action plan dekat sini, what are to be done. Okay, moving forward, okay, next kita nak tengok what are the benefits of plan. Kalau awak tak ada planning macam mana agak-agak ni? Okay, masuk UiTM tak ada apa-apa plan, tak apa, belajar je. Okay, sometimes the result at the end of the day, you punya GPA ataupun CGPA mungkin kurang memberansangkan. Okay, instead of as compared to those yang ada planning. Okay, sebab apa planning ni, okay, among the benefit lah kita bawa balik ke discussion of in management itself. Number one, dia jadi as a roadmap. Roadmap ni macam peta kan, macam peta, macam you know the direction. Okay, so planning is constructing or selecting a good map. Okay, you ada direction, dah ada objektif, you buat planning, what ada strategi yang nak apa ni kita lakukan. So dia dah jelas dah what are the things needed to be done. Number two is in terms of better coordination. Okay, dalam company ada banyak department apa semua kan, and those people nak buat apa, what are the activities that needed to be done. So by having plan, it can provide a foundation for coordination of a better range of organizational activity lah. Dah tahu dah this department nak buat apa, sales department nak kena fokus dekat produk mana sebagai contoh. Okay, and a plan helps to define the responsibilities of individuals and work groups and help coordinate their activities. Okay, macam Madam kata tadi lah, department, unit, branches, dia orang tahu nak buat apa. Okay, and number three, focus on forward thinking. So bila kita cakap forward, is in the future itself lah. Maksudnya you kena foresee in the future itself. Okay, the planning function forces managers to think ahead and consider resource needs and potential opportunities or threats that the organization may face in the future. For example, contoh kita ambil music industry lah in the future, macam mana. Kalau dulu dia lebih kepada album selling kan, now ada setengah artis tu dia tak keluarkan full album pun, ada berapa belas lagu dekat situ, dia just choose to launch singles. Okay, singles macam 1-2 lagu, satu-satu macam tu kan. Macam awak duk ikut BTS ke apa, Blackpink ke, mana ada full album sangat kan. After one single to another. Madam salah minta maaf lah kan. Kadang-kadang Madam nampak dia pun keluar single and dia orang go by single lah, not macam artis dulu-dulu dia akan keluarkan full album, and the platform of selling their music differ right now. Dah tak ada dah CD, kaset macam dulu kan, dia lebih kepada online. However, moving forward macam mana? If dulu kadang-kadang macam ada sesetengah artis dulu, dia orang tak nak share dia orang punya music video yang official ataupun like Astro pun dia tak nak share sangat those content dekat YouTube for example. Why? Because like Astro, if people can watch their content on YouTube, maksudnya people dah tak payah nak subscribe to Astro for example, then dia orang tak dapat those income kan. However, now some people can make millions of dollar by having a YouTube channel, and you can see more and more artists memang kebanyakannya lah kan dah ada YouTube channel, dia punya music video dekat situ, and dia boleh dapat income juga daripada YouTube. Okay, and in forward thinking also you must foresee benda-benda yang macam from COVID-19 punya perspektif juga, okay, macam mana nak survive during those MCO ke whatsoever, fasa pemulihan negara kan, okay, to sustain their business. And bila dah ada lesser restriction like right now, macam mana dia orang nak bounce back to bila dah boleh fully operate. Okay, dapat fokus on forward thinking. Next, benefit of planning, more effective control system. Okay, sebab dah ada goal, dah ada strategi, dah ada target apa yang nak dicapai. Okay, so ia akan menjadi a more effective control system lah. Okay, whereby kita akan monitor the performances, and if some things are not according to the expected result tu, what are expected out of them, diorang akan kena take necessary action lah, control action, okay, in ensuring that whatever that they are doing in the company or organization boleh moving on to the right direction. Okay, moving on. If you have any question, you can ask, okay, later on. Next, kita nak tengok types of planning. Okay, so types of planning, dia ada two main type. And di bawah these two main type, ada lagi pecahan dia. Dan kita akan tengok satu-satulah. Okay, however, overall, Madam nak cerita, types of plan ada dua, strategic planning dengan operational planning. Okay, ada dua. Okay, di bawah strategic planning ada tiga. Okay, di bawah strategic planning ada tiga, ada corporate, ada business, and ada functional. Okay, dan untuk operational planning ada tiga juga. Okay, ada standing plan, ada single use dengan individuals. Okay, so daripada dua, pecah lagi tiga, pecah lagi tiga. Alright, ingat yang tu. So apa beza strategic planning dengan operational planning? Okay, di mana dia tu, okay, siapa yang buat adalah berbeza lah at certain level of in the organisation itself, and the focus are different. Okay, untuk strategic planning, this is planning that is strategic in nature, whereby they focuses on enhancing the competitive position as the whole organisation itself. Okay, as a whole company, they focus kepada competitive position and overall performance of the organisation in the long run itself. Dia lebih kepada strategi untuk company tu. Tapi strategi pun ada level dia juga. Nanti kita tengok types of strategic planning. Okay, next kita tengok operational planning. Okay, so untuk operational planning, it focuses on determining the day-to-day activities that are necessary to achieve the long-term goals of the organisation lah. Dia lebih kepada operation of the company itself. Okay, day-to-day activity, contoh dekat bank, dia ada those operation punya matters lah. For example, bukan setakat bank lah, mana-mana company juga. Alright, kita moving on. Okay, kita move on to those two types of planning. So plan ada dua, strategic planning, operational planning. Bawah strategic planning ada corporate, business, functional. Bawah operational planning ada standing plans, dan di bawah standing plan tu pun ada pecahannya lagi, single use plan and individual plan. Ni overall lah Madam nak you capture. Okay, next kita akan discuss satu-satu. Okay, first kita tengok strategic plan dulu. Okay, level of management ataupun dalam organisation, ingat lagi ada tiga, ada corporate, ada business, the middle one, ada functional. Okay, yang di bawah sikit. Okay, so strategic plan happens at the three primary level within the organisation itself. I repeat, the corporate, the top management, okay, the business, and also the functional. So each level can be distinguished by the focus of strategic planning, siapa the participant of the process itself, and specifically the strategy and the time zone of the plan. Okay, time zone ni jangka masa lah untuk plan tu ataupun strategi tu. Okay, kita moving on untuk strategic plan yang pertama. Okay, the first one adalah corporate strategy. So it happens at the top level of the organisation, the CEO, CFO, CMO, depends on the organisation itself. Okay, focused on developing corporate strategy. Okay, so bila nak buat this corporate strategy, the relevant question that they need to ask adalah like, what business should we be in? Kita ni nak buat business apa? Set up a company nak buat business apa kan? Bila tanya what business should we be in ni, contohnya like the vision, mission statement of the company itself. Okay, so focusnya is to develop a mix of business unit that meets the long-term goals of the organisation and profitability goal. Okay, when we talk about long-term goals, it's more focused on their vision statement. Okay, vision statement, apa yang dia nak capai as the company itself. Dia pun nak buat bisnes dalam apa, dekat mana, profitability macam mana, lebih kurang macam tu lah. Okay, and bila kata mix of business unit ni, macam mana dia orang nak decide what kind of business yang dia orang nak buat. Okay, kita ambil contoh siapa kita ambil contoh Dato' Alif Shukri lah kan. Dia start dengan all those health punya supplement whatever itulah kan, and then dah ada business lain juga. Tu contoh yang kita boleh nampak lah, ataupun you nampak Nilofa kan start dengan tudung, then dia move on to other things, susu lah whatever kan. So that is a mix of business that they want to do. Okay, kita boleh panggil dia sebagai business unit lah. Okay, and corporate strategy is relatively broad and general in nature. And so dari segi dia punya strategi, itu strategi jangka masa panjang, iaitu 5 to 10 years into the future. In 5 years time, these are the strategy yang we want to achieve. Okay, in 10 years, these are the strategy yang kita nak capai. Okay, so corporate strategy happen at the top level of the organisation. Okay, and it involve this kind of things lah, and ingat 5 to 10 years into the future. Okay, the planning. Next kita tengok the business strategic planning. Okay, so business strategic planning decide on how each business unit tadi tu, okay, like Nilofa tudung dia, susu dia, apa lagi Nilofa punya business, okay, nak kena cari balik lah kan. How each business unit in the organization's corporate portfolio, portfolio ni the collection of business yang dia ada. Okay, tudung, macam Alif Syukri pun kan ada tudung, ada dia punya supplement, ada dia punya kosmetik kalau ada, dia punya resort whatsoever kalau ada. All these type of businesses yang dia ada, the collection, the whole thing kita panggil sebagai business portfolio ataupun corporate portfolio of the company itself. Okay, how each business unit in the organization's corporate portfolio will operate in the market arena. Okay, and the question how we compete in our existing line of businesses. Okay, so untuk tudung for example, macam mana nak compete? They need to decide the strategy for the tudung punya line. Okay, untuk resort punya line, macam mana nak compete? What are the strategy? What are the objective yang diorang nak capai? Okay, and managers for each division ataupun this business unit must focus on all aspect of the one business, and it should be formulated by the individuals who are most familiar with the operation of the business unit. Okay, yang ni lah untuk so kalau you want to find a manager to manage you punya corporate, you punya tudung punya line, mungkin kena ada orang yang sesuai lah in fashion ke whatsoever yang tahu pasal tudung production, tudung designing apa semua, and dia boleh manage. Okay, it should be formulated by managers within specific business unit, and they are responsible for the outcome of the business unit itself. Okay, like based on my personal working experience dulu, okay, each departmental head they need to formulate dia punya business strategy. Okay, bila madam kerja dengan bank, head of deposit, okay, the manager untuk deposit department, dia kena decide what are the strategy yang deposit department nak buat. Macam mana nak dapat more deposit, new deposit for example kan. And while untuk credit card punya head, dia kena rangka the strategy untuk credit cards, housing loan pun macam tu, produk-produk dalam bank tersebut lah. Okay, and the duration of the plan is from 1 to 5 years. Okay, untuk business strategy, let me tell you, ada short term dan juga middle term. Like 5 years ni kita boleh kata middle term punya duration lah. Okay, like 1 year annual objective ada, so ada objective to be achieved, ada strategi yang diorang nak buat. 5 years plan pun ada strategi apa yang nak buat untuk housing loan department for example untuk 5 tahun ada. Okay, and diorang kena buat. Okay, so perbezaan tadi, kalau dengan corporate strategy 5 to 10, okay, untuk business 1 to 5 years, okay, dan dia lebih kepada the division ataupun the product line yang ada dekat dalam company tersebut. Next, untuk strategic planning yang ketiga, yang terakhir ialah functional business planning. Okay, so functional strategy planning leads to the development of functional strategies like production, R&D, financial, human resource department, management ataupun marketing activities necessary to implement the organizational, corporate and business strategy lah. Ini supporting punya departments, macam mana dia orang nak ada strategy to achieve all those corporate and also business strategy. Okay, macam mana dia orang nak bantu housing loan department for example, tudung punya line. Okay, for example, marketing department must develop appropriate pricing, promotions and advertisement plan untuk business strategy tadi. Okay, business strategy tadi. Okay, and related question that could be asked, what needs to be done functionally to implement our business and corporate strategy. Okay, macam production macam mana nak bantu, what are to be done, okay, in the production punya side, R&D pun sama juga. Okay, so untuk apa tadi Madia cakap, functional strategy ni, okay, beza kalau the question asked to compare kan, you see the duration itself. Okay, so fokusnya lebih kepada the functional departments yang ada dalam company, and then the duration itself of the strategy. So usually it's more short term lah, 1 or 2 years. Okay, so moving on, kita nak tengok operational planning. Okay, macam Madam kata tadi, operational planning ada tiga ke? Okay, kita nak tengok single use plan dulu. Okay, so kita nak tengok operational planning ada tiga. Recap balik, ada single use plan, ada standing plan dengan ada individuals. Okay, mana standing plan Madam? Okay, kita tengok operational dulu. Alright, so kita tengok operational planning as a whole dan kita fokus kepada tiga tu lah. Alright, so untuk operational planning fokusnya lebih kepada day-to-day activities that are necessary to achieve the long-term goals of the organisation itself. Okay, and kita boleh kata dia sebagai lebih spesifik, address isu yang mungkin dalam company tu dia orang kena deal tiap-tiap hari. Okay, ataupun from time to time ada, for example if they want to hire new staff, so takkan nak kena ada new guideline tiap-tiap kali kan. So mungkin dah ada general guideline on how to hire the staff itself. Okay, so like the macam hiring new staff ni to address the short term issues lah. And so this operational planning are more specific, address shorter term issues and are formulated by mid and lower level management yang responsible for the work groups in the organisation itself. And it can be categorized, macam Madam kata tadi, ada tiga, standing or single use plan dan sebagaimana lah kita nak tengok. Okay, kita nak tengok. Alright, moving on. Okay, kita nak tengok single plan, standing plan. So standing plan is designed to deal with organizational issues ataupun problem that recur frequently lah. Okay, it work best in situation that are stable and ada less changes. For example, kalau you nak hire staff, mungkin tak ada perubahan besar sangat sebab tu situasi yang orang panggil apa? Sama je macam tu, tak ada perubahan pun. And standing plans are maybe particularly important for the organisation with a highly diverse workforce. So untuk standing plan ni ada tiga, policies, procedures and also rules. Okay, kita tengok satu-satulah. Policies ni apa di bawah standing plan? So bila berhadapan dengan situasi ni, all those issues ni, what will happen is that dia orang boleh buka balik polisi company tu untuk rujuk and tahu apa nak buat. So it jimat masa dari segi decision making lah. Okay, dah ada guideline. So standing plan ada tiga. Policies, general guidelines that govern how certain organizational situation will be addressed. Okay, like policies dalam HR department, macam Madam kata tadi, macam mana nak hire new staff tu. Macam mana kalau ada staff nak ambil MC, okay, the sick leave itself, so ada procedure dia kena buat apa, nak submit macam mana. So there are the policies itself and the benefits option. Okay, and number two type of standing plan adalah procedures. Okay, procedures it refers more on the process itself. Okay, this is more specific and are designed to give detailed instruction on how to complete a recurring task. Okay, the workflow, the process flow. Okay, so recurring task ni benda yang you kena keep on repeating to do. Okay, by using standard operational procedure ni yang duk panggil SOP. SOP ni ada SOP yang dia orang kena ikut. Okay, so for example itself, kalau involved in production department, ada prosedur dia macam mana kalau you nak orang panggil apa tu, cari supplier baru untuk raw materials ataupun setempat yang you need in the organisation itself. Okay, so tadi kita dah tengok panggil apa, standing plan. Patutnya standing plan tadi policies, procedures and rules here. Alright. Now moving on, kita nak tengok single use plan. Okay. So standing plan tadi ada policies, procedure and rules. Now kita nak tengok single use plan. So single use plan are developed to address a specific organizational situation. Okay, and such plans are typically used only once because the specific situation to which they apply does not occur. Kalau tadi dekat standing plan, situation tu macam hiring, from time to time ada new hire yang you kena buat. Okay, ada staff yang nak kena apply cuti. However, untuk single use plan ni, dia lebih kepada orang panggil macam ad hoc lah, situasi yang sementara. So, untuk single use plan ada 3 jenis, programs, projects and also budget. And each offers a different degree to which of comprehensiveness and details for each one lah. Okay, kita nak tengok satu-satu untuk single use plan. Yang pertama, programs. Okay, so program, it covers a relatively comprehensive set of activities that are designed to accomplish a particular set of goals. Okay, and it consists the major and specific action as well as timing and sequencing of the program itself. Okay, ni ada comprehensive set of activities lah. For example, at one time, there are certain program that they want to achieve ataupun there are certain things yang they want to capai dalam company. Alright, then kita ada projects. Okay, direct the effort of individuals or groups towards achieving achievement of specific well-designed objective and less comprehensive than program. Program ni dia lebih luas, mungkin dia nak involve more people in the company itself. Project ni kadang-kadang nak launch new product, tu kita boleh panggil sebagai project jugalah, ataupun ada certain CSR activity that they want to do. Okay, so CSR project for 2022 for example, so dia macam one time kan, one off punya project. Okay, and these two sometimes it involve budgeting. Okay, budget is specific how financial resources should be allocated. Okay, so kadang-kadang nak mencayakan sesuatu program dan project ni, they require financial resources lah untuk beli barang ataupun nak hire certain things, nak buat advertisement dan sebagainya. Okay, so single use plan, programs, project, budget. Standing plan tadi ada apa? Ingat balik ada apa standing plan. Okay, so moving on. So planning ni nak start daripada mana? Okay, siapa yang nak initiate dulu? So in management, untuk planning ada 2 jenis. Sama ada dia top down. Bila kata top down maksudnya daripada atas ke bawah kan. Okay, the top management akan begin the planning process itself, dan you as the lower level punya workers ataupun manager just follow sahaja macam tu. You tak initiate. Okay, so top down kita panggil sebagai planning efforts that begin with the board of directors and top executive here of the company itself. The CEO, CFO, the board of director akan buat the decision. So the vision mission statement for example adalah contoh top down planning. Okay, dan kita ada bottom up planning. Bottom up planning maksudnya the initiative to do the planning itself daripada the lowest level in the organisation. Okay, the planning initiated at the lowest level of the organisation. Tu perbezaannya. Dia start initiative tu daripada mana, the decision tu daripada mana. Okay, so this is the explanation for the two lah. Okay, for top down planning, top managers who are the most knowledgeable about the firms as a whole determine the general directions of the organisation and establish a master plan to achieve its overall goal. Macam Madam kata tadi lah, vision mission statement adalah contoh yang terbaik untuk top down planning, and the master plan will act as the guideline for the unit manager, whereby untuk bottom up planning, people at the lowest level of the organisation, organizational hierarchy, and or those who are most directly involved in the delivery of the organizational products and services, and they establish their goals and plan. For example, kadang-kadang branch manager lebih kepada bottom lah daripada those higher level manager. So kadang-kadang dia boleh bagi feedback, dia boleh bagi initiate ataupun dia boleh bagi orang kata apa maklumat kepada higher level management on certain things yang diorang face. For example, like the product acceptance, the reaction of the customer itself kan, sebab dia lebih dekat dari dengan customer. Okay, so by having this bottom up planning, okay, kadang-kadang dia orang boleh describe ataupun identify which area to be improved. Okay. Okay. So, this is the comparison between top down dengan bottom up planning. Dekat mana the role of organizational unit, the specific plan, potential advantage and potential disadvantage-nya. Okay, so you can see lah untuk organizational level ada CEO ataupun board of directors. Untuk bottom up, dia from the department, the people or the department close to the product, service or customer. Kadang-kadang sales staff pun boleh jadi juga. Okay, and the roles in the organizational unit itself. Okay, as the plan move down the hierarchy, unit determine action needed to support the plan itself. Sudah ada vision mission statement. So tiap-tiap department ni, for example, they need to decide lah what they must do ataupun rangka the strategy to achieve all those vision and mission statement. Okay, whereby untuk bottom up planning, unit develop goals and plan. As plan move up the hierarchy, they are evaluated and adjusted for accuracy and feasibility. Okay, so those unit head, the departmental head, kadang-kadang dia akan rangka the strategy and akan present to the higher level management in the company itself. Okay, untuk specificity of the plan itself, okay, become broad, become more specific as it move down lah. Okay, maksudnya mission statement tu untuk semua department, then dia akan flow down, dia lebih specific for each department itself. Dia terbalik dengan bottom up. Okay, and potential advantages untuk top down, plan are driven by top level management who are most knowledgeable about all factors affecting the organisation. Macam kita belajar lah, okay, nak jadi CEO ni dia kena tengok semua area, semua opportunity, threats, for example, untuk company tu. So dia dah ambil semua consideration and dia rangka plan. Okay, whereby untuk bottom up, they are more close to the customer, the supplier, the operating system. So kadang-kadang dia dapat feedback daripada those people ataupun based on their experience, dia orang boleh bagi suggestion. Okay, kita tengok disadvantage pula. Okay, untuk top down, top level managers may be removed from the front line, and untuk bottom up, lower level managers may be lack of understanding untuk all factors lah, sebab dia lebih spesifik, dia tengok satu aspek saja as compared to CEO, dia tengok lebih luaskan dia punya aspek. Alright, next subtopic adalah barriers to planning. Apa halangan-halangan yang company boleh hadapi bila nak buat planning ni? Ada beberapa lah. Satu, for example, the demands on managers time itself. Nak buat planning ni, nak rangka apa semua ni, kena you must invest in terms of you punya time lah. Okay, sebab mula-mula nak kumpulkan maklumat dulu, all those factors yang boleh affect their business, their strategy, then nak kena sit down. Okay, madam pernah involve dari segi this, orang panggil apa, my department punya 5 years punya planning tu memang ni lah, mula-mula madam kena bantu dari segi nak kumpulkan maklumat dulu. And then nak orang panggil apa, rangka what are the strategy, dan nak present to the divisional head Lepas tu kena ada meeting lagi lepas tu. Dia quite tedious and ambil masa yang agak lama. Okay. And ambiguous and uncertain operating environment ni lah. Business environment, the economy, the political environment. Boleh kadang-kadang kita tak unforeseen lah. So this thing could affect the plan itself. Okay. And sometimes ada resistant to change juga. Okay. Ada setengah people in the company itself dia tak nak berubah sebab bila ada plan, ada strategi baru, kadang-kadang involve in using new methods of doing businesses and sometimes they don't want to do that. Okay. Alright, so macam mana nak overcome these barriers to planning? Okay, what you can do is that or the company can involve employee in decision making. Okay, boleh ask for input maklumat daripada staff-staff dalam company tu. So bila dia involve daripada awal, dia rasa dia akan lebih mudah terima. Okay, then take advantage of a diversity view. Okay, so diverse view daripada lebih ramai orang. Okay, ataupun you take input from various departmental head, various department yang ada dalam company tu rangkakan the plan itself. So bila ada this input from different kind of people, more and more people are most likely to be to accept the plan easier. Okay, and number 3, the company can encourage strategic thinking. Okay, to develop ni strategic thinking lah, nak kena tengok dari segi aspek strategic management for example, so that staff lebih faham kenapa untuk buat satu-satu benda tu. Okay, so that's all for this chapter planning. Kita dah tengok, nak patah balik ni, jauh pula nak patah balik. Kita dah tengok in overall the nature and purposes of planning, types of planning ada berapa tadi. Tengok balik yang tadi operational planning tu planning process and barriers to effective planning. Okay, so that's all for this lecture. If you have any question, you can always ask me. Okay, jangan duduk simpan pula, tanya madam. Okay, so that's all. Assalamualaikum and have a nice day.